They call him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He lived and died to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives. Because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear is gone. Because I know who holds the future, and life is worth the living just because He lives.
I'm looking pretty good today. We have had a off the chain day. Got up at 8 or 9 o'clock this morning. They had repoed Jonathan's car. So we got up, got ready. Took an hour's drive to get there. Then it took another hour to get where the vehicle was. After we got there, we had to wait an hour to get the stuff out of the vehicle. The woman that was there, she was like grouchy as all get out. Then, on top of all that, Amanda is missing a phone. She said it was like an $800 phone. I don't know. I ain't never seen one before. She said it's all glass. I ain't never seen no phone like that. And why would she be paying for a phone like that? I have no idea. I wouldn't. I mean, that's just saying, hey, take advantage of me here, you know? But then it took an hour to get back to her house and an hour here. Well, we stopped and got something to eat at Jack in the Box or something like that. And we ate. Big mistake. I had my gallbladder moved. Well, me and Rick finally get home. We find out one of the dogs pooped in the floor. And he had to get ready for work, so I had to clean that up. It wasn't her fault. We were gone for 5 hours, so, you know. And he had to run. So, oh, God. Thank God it wasn't on my carpet. Well, Mom was in the bathroom, and with me eating strange food and all that I don't never eat, I had a problem. And I'm like, oh my God, this ain't going to work out. And I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not going to hold no punches. I couldn't make it to the bathroom. And smart me goes, I'll just use the trash can. As I was going to the trash can to use the trash can, I got it all over. Well, not all over. I got a little bit on me. And I couldn't take a shower right then because I had to take Rick to work. So as soon as I got back, I was so tired. I said, oh, I want to lay down. I want to go to sleep. I said, I don't care about all this mess. But I sat on the bed and I was like, no, I need to go take a shower. Next thing I know it, I was being woke up by Bullet wanting to go out. I was like, oh man. It was probably about 15 minutes. And I've had it rough today. This has been a very rough day and I'm not over it yet. My whole body hurts from all the driving and everything. It's been a very bad day. But I keep it real now. But I did finally get me a shower. And I finally got to wash my dishes. I couldn't wash them yesterday. And then I couldn't wash them today. But I finally got them washed today. And I got a doll dress sitting in there on the table in there. I got part of it done, but I ain't got it sewed together. So it's been sitting in there, just waiting on me. But I know y'all, I just figured I would rant, let y'all know what kind of a weird day I had. And I know y'all have had days like that. But I'm telling you what, having your gallbladder removed, you cannot control anything. You can't control it. I can't. And I'm just letting you guys know that when you get your gallbladder removed and all, just expect times like that, because you're going to get them. Well, I did, after I took my shower, I did finally get to take a nap. And I woke up, and I come in the kitchen to fix me some coffee, and Mom's TV was, extra, extra loud. So I opened the door, and there she is lying in the floor. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing in the floor? She said, I fell about 2 hours ago. Which I don't think it was 2 hours ago, because my hair was still wet. So it couldn't have been no 2 hours ago. Maybe about a half an hour. I tried to get her up. I couldn't get her up. So I said, Mom, I've got to go get somebody to help me, because I can't do it. You know, with me just waking up and everything. So I went over to Marie's and got help from Marie to come over and help me get Mom up. Luckily, 3 of them was Johnny on the spot with my mom. So I appreciate Marie and them for helping me get Mom up. But Mom is doing fine now. She is fine. I told her, I said, Mom, you need to wear shoes on that floor so you're not slipping. I had a rug in there, but I think I'm going to have to find her a bigger rug and all, so she can be able to not worry about falling in there, because that floor's slick, you know. But she is fine, thank goodness. Okay, any other weird things happen? Well, besides the cat meowing so much at me while I was cooking, but everything else, it's been okay. Alright, we are on Exodus 13. So let me write this down so that I can be able to take it in there and put it at the beginning. I know I'm a little bit ranting, but I'm going to try to do this. I'm tired and everything, but I love reading the Bible every day. So, here we go. 13. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whosoever opened the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it is mine. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever paid attention, but every man, the firstborn of a man, is a sweet, forgiving, loving child. It really is. My firstborn girl, she was so sweet, loving, and everything, and all. Happy-go-lucky, everything. Okay, let's go on. We're on 3. And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day in which ye came out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. This day come ye out in the month Abib. And it shall be, when the Lord shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Jebusite, which he swore unto thy father to give thee, a land flowing with milk and honey, that thou shalt keep the service in this month. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and in the seventh day shall be a feast unto the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and there shall no leavened bread be seen with thee, neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in all thy quarters. In other words, he doesn't want no kind of yeast whatsoever, because yeast is what leavens the bread up, rises the bread. So when you see leaven in the Bible, then you know it's talking about sin, okay? Alright. 8. And thou shalt sow thy sons in that day, saying, This is done because of that which the Lord did unto me when I came forth out of Egypt. And it shall be for a sign unto thee upon thy hand, and for a memorial between thine eyes, that the Lord's law may be in thy mouth. For with a strong hand hath the Lord brought thee out of Egypt. Now, God wants you to remember what He has done, and all to to set people free. And that's like today with Him going to the cross. He wants you to remember that. I am so thirsty. Okay, number 10. Thou shalt therefore keep this ordinance in this season, year from year. We don't know when it was, so we can't keep it. And I'm not saying that we should keep it, but it would be nice to see how things would be if we did keep it. Alright, 11. And it shall be when the Lord shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites, as he swore unto thee and thy fathers, and shall give it to thee, that thou shalt set apart unto the Lord all that open the matrix, and every firstling that cometh of the beast which thou hast, a male, shall be the Lord's. Alright, now, I'm pretty sure that you guys can imagine what the matrix is. Okay, so I'm going to read that again so as you all will know exactly what the matrix is. That thou shalt set apart unto the Lord, that opens the matrix. Okay, so the firstborn male that opens the womb belongs to the Lord. Okay, 13. And every firstling of every ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb. And if thou shalt not redeem it, then thou shalt break his neck. And all the firstborn of men among thy children shalt thou redeem. Now this is saying that the animals should be redeemed of every firstborn. Okay? Alright, 14. And it shall come to pass when thy son ask thee in time to come, saying, What is this? That thou shalt say unto him, By strength of the hand of the Lord bringeth us out from Egypt, from the house of bondage. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that the Lord slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beasts. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord that all that opens the matrix, being male of all the firstborn of my children, I redeem. Now, this is not saying go in and kill your child. He wants you to raise that firstborn up to be his, okay? It's not that you don't go sacrifice your children. No. He wants you to raise them up to be his. Alright? Now, if I see anything other than that, I've got some really, really questions I need to ask God about this. Alright, 16. And it shall be a token unto thy hand, for a frontlet between thy eyes, for thy strength of the Lord. And the Lord brought us forth out of Egypt. Now, this thing that they're talking about is a little square box that they, as far as I can know, and they have a Bible verse in it. And it should be, I'm not for sure which Bible verse it is, but I know it has something to do with Egypt. Okay? And they're supposed to wear it. And some of the people do wear it. Alright, number 17. And it came to pass when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. God said, lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt. But God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. And the children of Israel went up hardiness out of the land of Egypt. Now, I want y'all to think about going through the wilderness. And when you were sinners, and before you come to the acknowledgement, now there's a difference between knowing, and there's a difference between the acknowledging. Because if you acknowledge something, then you understand it. You can feel it. You can comprehend it. But knowing it doesn't mean that you really actually comprehend. Okay? And that's part of the reason why the churches are not doing people justice, is because that you cannot comprehend. You acknowledge, but you do not comprehend. Okay? And that's why people nowadays, they think Christmas is okay, they think Easter's okay, they think the rapture is true. The rapture is not true. As we go through, I will point them out when I see the verses. But other than that, no. Okay. So, now then, we're on 17. And it came to pass when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, through that was near. For God leaves peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt. But God led them through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. And the children of Israel went up hardiness out of the land of Egypt. Now this is another thing, Red Sea. Think about the red of Jesus' blood and the people going through that Red Sea. Think of Jesus Christ's blood. Okay, 19. And Moses took the bone of Pharaoh with him, for he had strongly sworn the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Saskroth and encamped in Etham in the edge of the wilderness. So see, you are camped close to sin, okay? And we are camped right now. Anybody that believes in Jesus Christ and the Creator, Father God, then we are still camped right beside sin. Okay? Alright, 21. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud, and led them the way, and by night a pillar of fire to give them light, and to go by day and night. Now, in the daytime, Jesus was a pillar of a cloud. Okay? And by night, he was fire. And they can just look up in the clouds and they can see him day and night. Wouldn't that be something? Lord, let me see you in the cloud and I'll just follow you wherever you want me to go. Alright, 22. He took not away the pillar of cloud by day, nor pillar of fire by night from before the people. So the whole time that they were here doing this were 40 years, okay? And he was there the whole time throughout everything. Alright, now we are on chapter 14. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they may turn and encamp before Pi-hahiroth, between Migdal and the sea, over against Bethel-Zaphon. Before it shall ye encamp by sea. I'm going to let him out of there. Alright. Number 3. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land. The wilderness had shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, that he shall follow after them. And I will be a horde upon Pharaoh and upon all his hosts, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord. And they did so. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and of his servants were turned against the people. And they said, Why have we done this, that we have let Israel go from serving us? Now, see, we have the same thing today. If we was to get rid of the government and the laws and all, and try to get away, they're going to come after us no matter what we do. And it's that way today. Try to go down the road without your driver's license, without car insurance, and see what happens to you. You may get shot. A dead servant is a better servant. Let you be a, what is that called? We're going to make a spectacle out of you, so everybody will go to straight and narrow and do what we tell them. Why is man over man? Okay? Number 6. And he made ready his chariot, and took his people with him. And he took 600 chosen chariots, and all the chariots of Egypt, and captains over every one of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Israel. And the children of Israel went out with high hands, and the Egyptian pursued after them all the horses and the chariots of Pharaoh, and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them encamping by the sea, besides Pi-hahiroth, before Baal-zephon. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them, and they were sore afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord. Now I gotta take him to the bathroom. Okay, we got his business done. Alright, we are number 11. And they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to lie in the wilderness. Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us, to carry us forth out of Egypt? So they're saying, you brought us out here to die. You know? Well, you die spiritually, okay? And to say that there was no graves in Egypt and all, I kind of doubt that, because people who died, and they took them, and they, at this point in time, or before this time, they put them in to caves. And I would say by this time here, they started putting people in the ground when they died. Okay? 12. Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, Let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. So they're saying that it would be better to serve the Egyptians than to go free and serve God. I don't know why people want to be in bondage, but people want to be in bondage and have somebody over them. And I don't understand that. Because if God was in charge and all, then I think it would be a whole lot better place. But when other men is over men, then that's where you get your hard bondage from. 13. And Moses said unto the people, Fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show to you today. For the Egyptians who you have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. And the Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. So in other words, y'all don't have to say a word. God is going to take care of these Egyptians. I can't wait till he takes care of our Egyptians of the day. Alright, 14. And the Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And the Lord said unto Moses, Wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward. But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thy hand over the sea, and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry land through the midst of the sea. Okay, so now what is going on is the Egyptians are coming and they know it. And they're like, oh my God, you brought us out here to die. And we've been better off back there, and we told you that we didn't want to go. Well, if you didn't want to go, you could have stayed. Why did you go through all this stuff if you did not want to go? You understand what I'm saying? 17. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptian, and they shall follow them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh and upon his host, upon the chariots and upon the horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. Now, there you have, when he gets his honor, they're going to be looking at him. 19. And the angel of God, which went before the camp of Israel, moved and went beyond them. And the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. Now, instead of Jesus being out here in front, he went to the back. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. And it was a cloud, a darkness to them. But it gave light by night to those who that one came not near the other all the night. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went to the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on the right hand and on their left. And the Egyptian pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all the Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. And it came to pass in the morning, which the Lord looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drove them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, Let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians. And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thy hand over the sea, and the waters may come upon the Egyptian, upon their chariots, and upon thy horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and it returned to its strength when the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it. And Moses overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the host of Pharaoh, They came upon the sea after them, and remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Israel walked upon the dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hands of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw that great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians, and the people feared the Lord, and believed the Lord and his servant Moses. Okay, now this is what this 15 is a pretty good one, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. It's called the Song of Moses. Alright, 15. Then sang Moses unto the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spoke, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed glorious, the horses and his riders hath he torn into the sea. And the Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. And let's see, the Lord is a man of war, the Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and host has he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The death have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath dashed in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of thine excellency thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sendest forth thy wrath which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils the waters were gathered together. The floods stood upright as a heap, and the death were conglomerated in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoils. My lust shall be sanctified upon them. I will draw my sword, my hands shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, and the sea covered them, and they sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like unto thee, O God, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praise, doing wonders? Thou stretchest out thy right hand, the earth swallowed them. Thou in the mercy hast led forth the people which thou redeemed, that thou hast guided them in the strength unto thy holy habitation. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the habitation of Palestina. Then the Duke of Edom shall be amazed, the mighty men of Moab, trembling all take hold upon them. And the habitation of Canaan shall melt away. Fear the dread shall fall upon them. By the greatness of thine army they shall be as still as a stone, till the people pass over, O Lord, till the people pass over, which thou hast pursued. Thou shalt bring them in and plant them in the mountain of thine habitation, and in the place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hand hath established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. And the horses of Pharaoh went in with the chariots and with the horsemen into the sea, and the Lord brought again the waters of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. And Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a thimble in her hand, and all the women went out after her with thimbles and with dances. And Miriam answered them, Sing ye to the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horses and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness, and found no water. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the water of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Mariah. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, What shall we drink? And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them, and said, If thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and wilt go which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, and will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought into the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. Okay, so what he's saying is, if you follow God's commandments and what he says, and it does apply today, then you won't get all the plagues and everything that they're getting. That's like, if you get the RFID chip, then you're going to bring sores upon you. God's going to turn away from you. That's a plague. If you take the flu shot, you're going to get the flu. Okay? Let's look at this. And I've noticed it the last couple of years. I get a cold, a regular house cold, winter cold. Well, really, it's more, I get mine in the spring. But when you take the flu shot, it's twice as bad on you. Okay? So, if you follow their rules, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If you live by their shots, you're going to die by their shots. And that's the only way I know how to put it. If you go by what government wants you to do, then you're going to die by the government. Okay? We all are anyway. And they came to Elim, where there 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there by the waters. Alright, so we are done with this one. We've read 3. We'll be reading 16 when we come back. So, I know this is most definitely different. I have a big mouth tonight. And it's most definitely dry. So we read 13, 14, and 15. Alright, I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you a bunch, and I will see you later. This is how to donate to my PayPal. You come down here to Poor Man's Sewing, and you mash on Poor Man's Sewing. Then you go over here to About. You mash on About. And right here is to donate to Poor Man's Sewing.